Right, let's do it then. The Manchester derby.
The kids are calling it Barclays, man, nowadays.
Of course.
Morgan Pedersen.
What a trend. Yes, the Manchester derby then. Manchester United, ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely garbage. Still, I sat here probably 3 or 4 weeks ago now, Chris, and saying that what they've done, and this is on the back of the Man United Arsenal game, was they've bought more good attacking players, but effectively
in the same spots as the good players.
Yeah. But effectively, what they've done, they've not the system and the formation and all that kind of stuff. It's not, when they do good things, it's not because of Ruben Amorim's coaching, tactics or training. It's because they've got good players who can do good things in football matches. Effectively, they've multiplied Bruno Fernandes by adding Mbeumo and Cunha, who can individually win football matches, and that is where they could technically improve. But it isn't because of systemic issues that he's gelling them and knitting them together. I don't think, anyway.
No, I actually thought it was really interesting. I don't know whether you guys, you won't have heard this. You might have heard this. I don't think you will. Roy Keane talking about it after the game yesterday. And it is an opinion that I've just taken from him, which is why I will say it like that. He was basically saying he just thinks that the fucking players have fucking lost it with him now. There's a point where you keep getting beat playing 3 at the back, and you just think to yourself, this manager's not the right man, and he's probably losing the dressing room because of it, because the points that they get, what are they averaging, a point a game in the last 31 or something like that? Is it 31 points from 31 games? Is that where we're at? It's shit.
Is it no one's averaged less points across the 2 seasons in those 31 games? Or it's relegation. It's in the relegation.
It's shocking what they're doing. And listen, he needs to go, but they are so wedded to him in terms of the amount of money that they've spent now and the players that they've bought. It's just a shit show. And
I was looking at
it continue.
I was looking at that. I caught the second half of that game on Sunday, Chloe, and I was looking at what United have got. And when you lay it out, and I still just contend, if you just played 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, even though he's had now 2 transfer windows and £200 million pounds worth of signings, he's still got a team that better fits a back 4 than a back 3. And when you start to lay it out, so you've got the goalie's an issue. I don't really know what they're doing with that. If there's Lemons is an improvement on what they've got, cool. But they've got a couple of goalies there, whatever. They've got Dorgu, is he the left back, and they still own Luke Shaw, whatever. Right backs Dalot and Mazraoui, who are fine.
Wherever he plays.
Back occasionally,
but like functional enough, fine enough right backs. Dallow's a decent enough player, isn't he?
Have they got good enough centre backs to play it too?
But in centre back, just there's a paper exercise. Harry Maguire, Matthijs de Ligt, and Lenny Yoro. Like they're 3 centre halves. You've got 2 with a deep experience of international football, if nothing else. So again, paper exercise. You've got Ugarte and Casemiro as 6s. The midfield's a bit weird, and this is where I think he's fucked it up in the players that he's bought. They've got Kobbie Mainoo, Mason Mount, and Bruno Fernandes. I'm missing anyone? That was where I had a little struggle with this.
No,
I'm not sure.
I don't know their squad well enough.
I'm not sure. If you then said it's 3 up top, you've got Cunha, Mbeumo, Ahmad,
Sesko,
and Xerxes. At the midfield, they don't have any. They don't have 8s. I think is a major issue for them. But on paper, when you look at like what tune Moyes is getting out of Everton, and you look at a variety of those other squads, we are a bit blinkered because we're so good and we've got 2 brilliant players for every position. But there's no way that another manager couldn't take that squad and do something with it, something better than what he's doing. Because it's
why would you want a manager who has played 3 at the back his entire career to play 4 at the back?
I don't want him to play 4 at the back.
I do. I think it'd be hilarious. He can't coach these players to play 3 at the back.
His formation,
his system. he definitely can't coach them to play 4 at the back.
No, but
the players are doing what you're saying. He's got players who can do things in games because they're good. If they went to a 4 at the back, it would just be the players being used to playing in those formations, not the coach.
Yeah, and my point doesn't stem from him doing this. He needs to go. But my point is that, and they keep changing the manager, and there does come a point where like we've just got to stick with someone, but
let them stick with
the right one. You know, and look at them, but like just trying to be neutral on this, which is obviously fucking hilarious. But like I just think you could go and get fucking David Moyes back. You could get David Moyes back, and he would get, I think, a better tune out of the players that he's got than Amorim.
The Moyes would kill him. Manchester United now.
To your point, the squad is better than what they're getting now. Yeah. I think.
Speaks loudly about the coach.
Of course it does. And he's basically come out and said this weekend post defeat that the system won't change. They'll have to sack me if they want a new system. Yeah. And that is obvious. He didn't need to say that. That was apparent by what he was doing week in, week out. But I've got to the point now. We've had conversations around this for nigh on 12 months, and we spoke at length about the personnel and the system and the tweaks. And is he a fraud? Is he not a fraud? People are fans. Some people are. I'm done with the conversations. I'm just not good enough. It's simple as that. He's just long may that continue because it's fucking brilliant. He is not the man for them. Simple as that. Shit.
You've been saying just boom, done, full stop. But something Chris has been saying for the whole of the time that he's been there, like that wedded to a formation. Formation isn't philosophy. Formation is just a nominal thing. It's a shape, not a philosophy. He seems to have got it confused and think that 3 at the back is everything that is. And if that's the case, then he's always going to get found out because they were talking about, again, I don't know whether it was Sky's analysis or Match of the Days. I think it might have Match of the Days. That if you play 1 up top, if your opponents are playing 1 up top, you just don't need 3 at the back. It's a fucking complete waste of resources. It's
also the midfields where they're getting beat time and time again, isn't it? He's putting 2 shit midfielders up against 3 good midfielders every single game.
All the best,
like that just doesn't work. It's just
you just get outrun.
You do massively.
The problem is, again, if you look at higher up in terms of the boardroom level, Jim Ratcliffe obviously being ahead of this right now in terms of the football, it matters anyway. They've done it again. They give Eric Ten Hag God knows how much money to spend last summer, backed him with a new contract that it wasn't a new contract. They give him the keys to the kingdom, said go on, spend at will, and then they had to sack him. They've essentially done the same thing with Amorim. They've allowed him to go out and spend, £200 million odd in the window this time. So can they sack this guy, the back of that? You know what I mean? Or they just have to let him play out at some point. And I think we're very much reaching that point now. They're going to have to just say, it's not good enough. Away we go.
But then what's happening is, it's the same thing over and over, isn't it? What they really need to do, and it goes back to the Ten Hag, I think they needed to sack him in the summer. They needed to give somebody a run at it. Yeah. Now, Amorim, to be fair to him, said, I want to come in the summer. And by all accounts, it was an ultimatum by Manchester United that said, now we need you in mid-season. But that mid-season, when the squad's completely fucked, the change in the formation, you've got no coaching time, has snowballed into... The players do not believe in the formation, the philosophy and everything else because he came in too early.
And the results are so
bad that he's lost the dressing room before he even had any training time. And they'll do the same again. Yeah. And by the time we get to next summer, they'll be 3 to 4, 5 months in on a new manager in the same problem.
Or repeat the Solskjaer mistake and put a temporary manager in place. He actually will, because I'm telling you, even a functional Premier League manager could do better than what he's doing, and he'll come in, might even scrape Europe, and they go, "Oh, let's do more of that," and then they're stuck with someone who actually, instead of going and getting someone brilliant in the summer, they might end up in that in between two stools.
I was half tempted to put a quid on Sir Alex Ferguson being next Man United manager last night.
Do you know who's a better bet?
I genuinely was. I saw him in the stands and thought, they might go there. They might go there.
Southgate's probably an Ineos guy, but I think Michael Carrick.
But even he's
not a manager right
now. Ultimately flopped at Middlesbrough, did he? Because he's not there anymore.
No, he's not there now. That was a bit of a mad dismissal. Yeah, although they are top of the championship, so it's worked out pretty well. But he being available is a thing, and he is available right now. I honestly wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if they got. Although I think Darren Fletcher might be doing 21's manager.
Well, he was the director of football.
He was a bit, wasn't he? Wilcox now, though. Yeah. So they're around. They're around, them fellas.
That was a clip from the Biased Football Podcast. To check out the whole show, head to redmenplus.com or click the link in the description.